The July patch notes have just been released, and it's time to see what treats lie ahead of us this month. In this series, we will be looking at what's new, what has changed, and what surprises there are coming up in Tacticus this month. The new patch version 1.3 has just rolled out, and it is absolutely filled with amazing new features and surprises hitting us this month. And thanks to the team at Snowprint, the content creators have had exclusive access to everything ahead of time. And so I've been able to build this video just for you and to deliver it to you along with the patch notes that have just been released on Discord. This is really an amazing change from the Snowprint team, so definitely pass on your thanks to them. So let's jump straight into the major news this month. We finally have a new Chaos faction, and it's the much predicted Emperor's Children. In my recent top 10 Chaos video, I talked about the fact that there were only half as many Chaos as there were Xenos and Imperials, and that we really needed to get a new team into the mix, and thankfully the Chaos god Slaanesh has provided for us. Unbelievably, it's the first Chaos team introduced since we met Rask of the World Eaters in March last year. I really hope it isn't the last this year as well, but let's see. The Emperor's Children themselves are heretic Astartes, and they possess no other purpose but to exceed every extreme and to know every possible sensation. They are dedicated to their own pursuit of corrupt, hedonistic, and usually murderous pleasures, and they are well known for possessing outlandish mutations and surgical alterations as gifts from the Chaos god Slaanesh, which are designed to make them more perfect in the eyes of their twisted patron. They are led by their Primarch Fulgrim, who these days have morphed into a four-armed, serpentine demon prince after some of the most heretical actions during the Horus Heresy. And Fulgrim's champion Lucius is the first of the Emperor's Children to join us. Prior to becoming a chaotic force, he was an incredible swordsman, fighting with incredible speed and skill. He was almost invincible and a true force of nature that could not be bested. Once he turned to Slaanesh though, even when he was finally brought down by someone, his killer was transformed slowly and painfully back into Lucius, something that has often been repeated since then too. And I'll be doing 2 videos to take a deeper look at this champion, because as you can imagine, he is a legendary champion, and that means we also need to plan now to get Lucius for free, because like recent legendary champions, his event is challenging. In the Alpha track, the Imperials and Chaos forces combined to take down the Aldari in the following battles: Black Legion, Bolter, minimum 4 hits, flying, and no bolter battles. In the beta track, Imperials and Xenos, albeit without their Tyranid buddies, combined to take down the Tyranids in the following battles: full heavy weapons, piercing, unstoppable, physical, and max 2 hits. And finally in the Gamma track, the Chaos and Xenos forces will be fighting against the Ultramarines and Astra Militarum in the following battles: close combat weakness, psychic, no power, minimum 5 hits, and physical. And so yeah, that's going to be a tough one, but we will get a little bit of a head start to prepare for this release, which is happening on August the 10th with my upcoming video. No other Emperor's Children champions have been announced yet, but I'm excited to see which one of these mutated bondage lovers are up next. And if you are interested in them, then in preparation for the release, you can already start to pick up the following items for them. Mainly, they're available from the same Han, Mirror, and Elite campaigns, so make sure you've got them opened up. And as we are waiting for the Emperor's Children starting to arrive in August, we still need to get more Adeptus Custodes characters this month, and Carrion is the first one that you can start collecting this month through the purchase of the Battle Pass. If you're interested in this character, then you need to check out my Does Carrion Do Anything video, which showed that he's definitely not one to be missed. But there is a lot more this month because the Adeptus Custodes have a silent sister joining them. Atlacoya is a Vigilator, and the Sister of Silence, as the name suggests, has taken a vow of silence, so there isn't much that she can tell us about how good she is, but she's been stationed aboard a black ship and was tasked with collecting psychers for the Imperial Tithe. In case you don't know what that is, these psychers are sacrificed to the Golden Throne so that the remains of the Emperor can continue whatever existence it has. As you can imagine, her battle kit is mainly focused around kicking psyker ass. She is a melee champion with parry and terrifying traits, and she's going to be released on July the 20th in the Auric Champion Hero Release event. As always, I'll be doing my usual Does Atlakoya Do Anything video in the coming weeks to deep dive into this champion, and we can understand together whether she's going to be a solid addition to your team. Next up, amazingly, it's the third birthday of Tacticus. Our incredible game has just grown every month into this fantastic battler that we absolutely love and has brought so many of us into the Warhammer 40k universe, and if you're anything like me, even further into the Horus Heresy and 30k universe. And we will be celebrating the anniversary with an absolute ton of special offers, exclusive missions, and many free rewards throughout the event. It even includes a 2-week home screen anniversary event, but most importantly for some of us, a special Path of Glory survival event that lets you collect carrion shards, as well as showcasing the new Emperor's Champion Lucius. That sounds amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on the new champion. It begins on August the 1st and runs through until August the 16th, so definitely put your summer holidays on pause, or make sure your toilet breaks are planned out to collect all the wonderful loot. Coming on August the 13th, we're getting a brand new guild raid boss. This time, it's the XV-104 Riptide battlesuit of the Tau Empire that's joining us. Unfortunately, I don't have access to this new boss yet. It's a little bit too early, but you can see what our model is going to look like right here. Generally, the Riptide suits stand twice the height of the XV-8 Crisis battlesuits like Revas is wearing, and so I expect it to be an absolute monster. For their weaponry, they have a Nova reactor that creates shield barriers, boosts its mobility, or unleashes a devastating tidal storm of energy beams or missiles. So it sounds like we're going to need some pretty mobile champions that can also take a beating to be able to take it down. I'm excited to see more bosses getting added. Let's hope it's a little bit less frustrating and more accessible than some of the recent guild bosses we've had to chase around though. Something that's going to be incredibly exciting for me personally is the new campaign event starting on July the 17th. This is going to be the campaign breakdown, and it's exciting for me because as the Gene Stealers are my favourite faction, you're going to be following Zybia, Jude and Hollin as the day of ascension of their Gene Stealer cult takes an unforeseen turn when the Tau Empire offers their planet to join the greater good instead. As you battle through this campaign, you're going to face off against the Tau, and you'll be able to collect upgrades, ability badges, XP books, and shards for the Tau. With the Riptide boss, as well as a couple of improvements to the characters which I'm going to get into soon, it's definitely a greater good patch. And as with all other campaign seasons, you're going to be able to pick the new Tau Empire event, or continue your run in the Adeptus Mechanicus or Tyranids one. The choice is locked for one season, but in the next season you'll be able to choose freely again. And the next really exciting event for some of us is the Galatian Incursion event starting on August the 4th. And it's really exciting because it's a full revamp of this event. It has those awesome branching paths that we've been seeing recently, and another special node in the event that's going to allow you to add the Mark 10 Gravis armor to a champion, which is a pretty cool node, and it'll let you make someone that extra bit tough. Can you imagine a Death Guard with Terminator armor and Mark 10 Gravis armor traits? Oh boy, that really is a walking tank. And personally, I've really been loving these incursion events recently. In case you haven't caught on yet, there's something really important you need to know. If you need legendary badges for a specific faction, then you can get them by completing the last 3 tiers of an incursion event. And the best thing, you don't need to start your way at the bottom and work your way through all the tiers. You can jump straight to the last tier if you want. I think it's a little bit of a hidden feature because it was sneaked in a couple of patches ago, but give it a try the next time you play an incursion. Another important thing I want to highlight is all the different blessed requisitions that are coming this month. I want to bring attention to these as it may let you start to plan out how best to spend your scrolls. And they are as follows. Firstly, we have the Chaos Guild War requisition, which runs from July the 17th to July the 27th, and there you're going to be able to get Karn, Nauseous Rotbone, Toth, Maladis, and Forge Fiend. And this is a bit of a strange one because it's only available for players at or above power level 15. Next, we have the Survival Squad requisition from July 28th to August 5th. There you can get Ahriman, Harkin, Azkor, Macer, Rask, and Angrax. After that, it's a Legendary Event Squad requisition on August the 5th to August the 12th. There you can get Shadowsun, Thaumachus, Darkstrider, Sarquel, Yazagor, and Kalandis. After that, it's the Orc requisition on August the 11th to August the 16th. And there you're going to be able to get Boss Golgorts, Tank Smasher, Snotflogger, Gibbascraps, and Snappereka. And finally, we have the Death Guard requisition on August the 16th to August the 21st. And there you can get Typhus, Nauseous Rodbone, Pastilian, Corrodius, Maladis, and the Plague Burst Crawler. And just to be clear, when I say you can get them, more often than not you get shards for them. But sometimes you have the opportunity to get the full character too. And so if you've got a certain character that you're chasing, then maybe that list is going to help you. Moving on to our more regular monthly events that we always get, we have a couple of quest events. I call these puzzle events because honestly there's so many different types of events that I forget which is which, and I see these as very much a puzzle-based quest. And we start with our most recent release, Aesoth, from the Adeptus Custodes, who's going to be joined by the Ultramarines, Adeptus Sororitas, and Astra Militarum on July 23rd to fight those annoying Gene Stealer cult characters. I'm definitely going to see Bellator, Celestine, Creed, and Yarick coming in clutch to grind them down. Then we have Tank Smasher and the Orcs on August the 13th going up against the Necrons in what could be vengeance for the battering the Orcs got during the Battle of Fortress. Let's hope Tank Smasher and his buddies do better with this war than War Boss Skullcrack tried to do. Next we have a new Guild War season starting on July the 26th, and this is going to give you all a chance to get promoted to the next league after your successes last season. Then we have 2 tournament arenas coming up, starting with a Power Up tournament that allows Machines of Wars on July 16th. This one kind of frustrates me because all the Machines of War feel like they do in this event is to slow it down. But I understand that it might be interesting for some of you to play with your Machine of War, especially that recent release, the Adeptus Sororitas Huge Organ, because I know how much you all love playing with your big organs. Then we're going to be jumping into a Faction War Conquest on July 29th, and I expect to see more and more of Gene Stealer cult teams after the last Faction War. If you want to guarantee yourself to get all the chests, then just get into them, because honestly I feel it's a breeze with them. If we turn to the balancing of the game, there are some really interesting changes upcoming, mainly for the Tau Empire. Firstly though, the daily deal offers are making some changes after the anniversary event. Starting on August the 17th, Karn's shards are being dropped in a couple of places. In the Rogue Trader, they're being replaced by Mephiston shards, and in the Guild War shop, On-Shi will replace him. So if you want to get one of the most important Chaos characters in the game, then make sure you pick them up this month. Finally, the Tau legendary character Shadowsun will no longer be offered in the Guild shop. So again, if you're close, make sure you pick them up. And speaking of Tau, there's been another update for the greater good. This is pretty surprising to me to see that yet more effort is going on here, especially considering how much other factions need work first. But let's see how it looks with the tweaks coming in for Darkstrider and Shadowsun. And it's quite a major tweak to Darkstrider's passive, Structural Analyzer, as it now affects friendly Tau units within 2 hexes in addition to affecting all friendly units adjacent to Darkstrider. This means that once you've added marker lights to enemies, the Tau are going to get a real boost in damage without needing to be hugging Darkstrider's butt. The second major Tau change is that Shadowsun's passive, Defender of the Greater Good, also now affects friendly Tau units within 2 hexes of Shadowsun. Previously it was just adjacent to her, or within 2 hexes of her control link drone, and her control link drone remains unchanged. It works for all other factions. They only get a bonus when they're adjacent to Shadowsun or her drone. And what does it do? Well, it was already adding extra damage to ranged attacks, but now for every round Shadowsun's been on the field, it adds an extra 25% chance to an additional hit. And this is really interesting because I can see a bit of a fun team with snipers positioned around Shadow Sun in the back of the field, maybe Revas protecting them from being overwhelmed. One thing to note before you Neurothrope Guildraid players get too excited and think this might be the perfect 5th member for that team, sadly this ability no longer affects attacks that deal psychic damage. I imagine exactly for that reason. So the Tau have a little bit more flexibility in their positioning, and that's definitely going to help them. But one thing I'm going to take away from that is that it's probably time for me to take a deep dive into the comparisons between buffing characters, because it's getting really complicated with all the recent additions. Hopefully coming soon I'll be able to build that video for you. Then outside of the Tau changes, there are some more minor changes that I won't deep dive into, as you can see them here or for yourself in the patch notes. But let me know if you want more interactions from me in future with fixes like these. I personally don't have too much to say about them, but I'm happy to go over them if it's useful for all of you. And like the balancing every month, there's also always a set of bug fixes being released, and I want to highlight a couple of them which I find are pretty impactful. Firstly, Maladus' Haze of Corruption will now correctly damage a third target if the second of that chain flees. Then, the next change is that the Gauntlets of Ultramar for Marnius Calgar will no longer deal damage to obscured enemies. Alongside that, there was some cleanup of the recent release of Forecasts, where they fixed the sweep stance of the Calibanite Greatsword, which was incorrectly getting its hits reduced from tall grass, and they fixed Forecast not being able to enter Overwatch while in strike stance if he performed an attack as a result of Asmodee using Exemplar of Hate. That last one, quite a specific moment in time, but still worth a mention. And with the rest, you can see them here yourself or in the patch notes. Again, I won't fully go through these, but let me know if you want me to in future. And so that is everything in this month's patch. It is absolutely packed with so much, and I hope that some of that is exciting for you as it is for me. Tell me below what your favourite part is. And I hope this video was useful to you. As it's a new series, I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Maybe there are enough patch note videos out there already, or maybe you're happy enough just reading them and don't care about the effort we're putting into videos like this. Whatever you think, let me know your feedback and include any changes you would propose to the format overall. I'll be back very soon with more videos, so do hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you real soon.